Hello everyone. So this workout is going to be a Pilates circuit. So it's going to be based on 5 different Pilates movements. So to begin with, we're just going to go through the movements slowly and we'll do some preparatory movements first. And then within each circuit, there's a little plank flow. Flow meaning an exercise where instead of doing repetitions, we just do one exercise after the other, and we're going to repeat the circuit 3 times. Now I'm going to give you different levels for each exercise, so you don't need to go all the way to the progressed level. You just need to stay with your body, stay with what feels good for you, and make sure, as always with Pilates, that you have your movement under control. Okay, lovely. So let's get started. So today we are just going to begin lying on our backs. We're going to have the knees bent, feet flat on the floor. Just think about lengthening the spine along the mat. Feel this lovely sense of length all the way from the tailbone to the crown of the head. And just allow the shoulders just to be heavy in the mat. I just want you to find your breath here. So we're just inhaling through the nose. Shoulders are relaxed. Exhaling through the mouth. Lovely. I want you to place your hands on the front of your lower ribs. And as you inhale, I want you to breathe away from your hands into the mat, like you're blowing 2 airbags up out of your hands. So we're inhaling, stretching and expanding through the lower ribs. And as we exhale, just make that breath out just a little bit more slow and controlled. Nice. Hugging the ribs in as we exhale. Keep breathing here. Lovely deep inhales. Using the breath just to center our attention onto the mat today. We breathe at the beginning of Pilates because it gives us that anchor for our attention and tells our mind that all of our focus now is going onto our body and our movement, nothing else. Lovely. Last deep breath here, inhaling. And as you exhale, I just want you to take your fingertips and I just want you to place them around the base of the back of the neck, the base of the skull and the back of the neck. Again, shoulders are heavy, elbows are wide. Inhale. And as you exhale, keeping the elbows wide, you're just going to begin to lift the chest. Okay, keeping the tailbone down. Now this position, what we're coming into here is called ab prep. Okay. Now this is a preparatory movement for a lot of the Pilates exercises. And basically what it is just bending from the upper spine. So when we do this, our upper abdominals are required to shorten and tense, while our core abdominals, our deep core musculature, it's called our inner corset, it's called transversus abdominis, is required to really stabilize the area between the ribs and the hips. Lovely. Keep going with this. Use your exhale to climb up. Really try and get the backs of the shoulders off the mat. Think about scrunching right at the bottom of the sternum. Lovely. Relaxing through the front of the neck. Elbows stay wide. Last one here. Try not to lift the tailbone and you're just going to hold. And then from here, keeping the tailbone down, you're going to inhale. And as you exhale, you're going to lift the right knee over the top of the hip till the shin's parallel to the ceiling. This position's called tabletop. And then you're going to lift the left up to meet it. And then you're going to release the head down by the side. Arms come down by the side with the palms down. Shoulders are wide. And we're just going to go for these staggered leg lifts. So we're just going to lower the right leg and then the left. And then we're going to lift the left leg and then the right. Okay, so we alternate which leg we lead with each time. And what we're doing here is we're challenging our ability, or should I say warming up our ability, to keep our lower spine and pelvis still using our abdominals. Okay, now if this feels a little bit too much for your lower back to begin with, I just want you to do these alternating leg lifts. So you're just lifting one leg at a time without holding them in the air in between. Lovely. Last couple here. Nice. And then when you're ready, you're going to lift both legs and hold them there. Bring your arms overhead, so circle them overhead, and then you're going to arc them forward, lift up into that chest lift, squeeze your legs together. We're going for the 100, so we're just going to start to pump the arms. So we'll go. Now make sure you breathe when you do this. we're thinking about pushing the shoulders back and down as the knees squeeze together. You've got the option to take the feet onto the floor, or you can hold here and stay here. Ribs are in. Keep pumping. Keep going. Keep reaching through the fingertips. Lock out at the elbow. Think about moving right from the armpit to engage the muscles of the back. Back of the neck stays long. Don't jut that chin forward. And we're going to keep going here. Keep going, tailbone down. Lift the shoulders up off the mat. We're going to go for 3, for 2, and for 1. Well done. Hug the knees briefly in towards the chest just to release the lower back. Then you're going to bring both feet down to the floor, parallel with the hip joints. And then you're going to bring your arms out towards the side into this T-arm position, or Angel of the North position. From here, you're going to swoop the arms forward and come up into that chest lift that we've just found, that ab prep. Okay, so we're just changing the arm position here, but the movement of the upper spine's the same. And when you're ready, I just want you to add a leg slide. So we're just going to push forward, alternating legs through the heel, like we're pushing a drawer shut. And we're going to use that push of the foot just to find that little bit more height in our ab prep. So we're really climbing up. Lovely. Last couple here. This is where it's going to get tough. Last one, and hold. Okay, stay here or challenge, see if you can extend your other leg. Hold in your hollow abdominals. Keeping that engagement with the core, you're going to lower the legs down towards the mat. The arms are going to swoop overhead as you lower the chest. And then keeping this lovely long tension in the lower in the abdominals, you're going to arc the arms forward and come up into that chest lift. Now this is where I said it gets hard here. Lovely. So we're coming forward. Use your exhale. So we're inhale, bring the arms over. Stretch. And then exhale, come forward. Again, don't worry too much about your breath. I just want you to breathe here. Finding more height each time. Really pushing down with the front of the thighs, with the backs of the knees. Keeping the legs on the mat, but don't worry if they lift away a little bit. That's fine. That's an area where you can work on over time. Lovely. Last one here. We're going to come up and we're going to leave and we're going to hold. Okay, push through the feet here. Push the back of the legs down. And then from here, we're going to open out into that T position with the arms again. So wrists out sideways of the shoulders. Okay, from here, I want you to squeeze the legs together again. Keep that tension. Keep that hollowing of the lower abdominals. Tailbone is slightly tucked here. And what I want you to do is squeezing the legs together. You're going to swoop the arms forward as you bend the knees. And you might not get there. You're going to see if you can lift all the way up into a little ball. If you need to use your arms to get you up there, that's absolutely fine. But I want you to find yourself in this balance here. Now here my tailbone's tucked. I'm not sitting right on top of my tailbone. And my spine is round. And I'm just balancing on the back of my pelvis. Lovely. And we're staying here. And breathing. Shoulders down. Nice. Now from here, keeping your legs together, I want you to just place your feet on the floor. And just get yourself right on top of your sitting bones. So that's the bones in the bottom of your pelvis that you sit on. Arms are going to come around the backs of the thighs. Shoulders roll back and down, proud. Chest sit lovely and tall. Inhale. And as you exhale, keeping the shoulders in line with the hips, you're just going to tuck the tailbone between the legs and just hollow through the lower abdominals. And we're just going to round just through the lower back. Okay, now I'm getting you just to isolate the lower back first, because we're going to go down into a full roll up soon. But when we do this rolling backwards movement of the spine, so spinal flexion, I want you to think about really getting into the lower spine first. Right, when you're ready, you're going to remove your hands and you're just going to see if you can take that roll down just a bit further. So I want you to try and get the back of your pelvis down onto the mat, squeeze the legs together and come back up. Okay, so we're coming back down and then up, shoulders away from the ears. Hug the ribs in here. Think about zipping up a tight pair of jeans as you come back up and gather through the abdominals. Remember, tuck the tailbone first, gaze between the knees, round in, lovely. And on your last repetition, you're going to stay and hold lifted. From here, I want you to stretch your legs away from you. It's okay if you need a little bit of a bend in the knees here due to tight hamstrings, wherever is comfortable for you. But you're going to stretch your legs away, make sure the legs are in line with the hips, and you're going to sit lovely and tall, take the arms in front of the shoulders. When you're ready, I just want you to begin to gaze between your legs as you tuck the tailbone and round through the spine, and then you're going to stretch forward, lifting up and out of the pelvis. So we're not just collapsing down, it's a rounding of the spine and an active lift and stretch out of the pelvis. Lovely. And then you're going to restack the spine, and then you're going to do that half roll down again. Okay, so we're tucking the tailbone under. Your legs will move towards you. Okay, that's good. That's what is meant to happen. Find your biting point, climb back up, and then reach forward. Lovely. We're just going to do a couple of these. So we're coming all the way down. We're climbing up, really scooping up through the abdominals, lifting out of the pelvis, stretching and reaching forward. Shoulders down and away from the ears. I just noticed that mine crept up. Last one here. Then we're going to stretch forward. Really good. So when we do this stretch, the heels push forward as the toes pull backwards, okay? The navel pulls backwards as the crown of the head energizes forwards, and the shoulders pull backwards, okay? So it's all about opposition in this stretch. Lovely. And then you're going to restack and come up to a seated position. Okay, from here I want you to take your right leg and I want you to cross it over your left leg. So your foot's sitting kind of just above the knee. But if you need to be a little bit further down because you've got stiff knees, then that's fine. You're going to take your opposite arm. Actually, I'm facing the wrong way, so I'll just spin around. You're going to take your opposite arm and wrap it around the side of the opposite leg. Okay? And then you're going to take your other hand and just almost like you're really focusing your attention. I want you to watch your hand going around, and I want you to place it on the floor, okay? I want you to look over your shoulder, hug your bent knee in towards you, and just enjoy this lovely twist. Okay, so we're just twisting through the spine here. The toes of the straightened leg say pointing up towards the ceiling, okay, so that leg is nice and active. And we're really just trying to relax the shoulders away from the ears, proud chest, and we're just really trying to twist open through the shoulders as much as we can, feeling a nice stretch along the front of the hip. Lovely. Other side. So we release that leg, other leg bends around. I'm going to spin around because I'm going to be not facing you again. So leg bends across, comes to the outside of the straight thigh. The leg of the toes of the straight leg are pointing up. Okay. Wrap opposite arm around opposite knee. Look over your shoulder and just twist here. Lovely proud chest. Shoulders away from the ears. Lovely wide collarbones, and just look over your shoulder. Okay, and really try and twist the body open. Lovely. Okay, from here we're going to come into our flow. Now we're going to do this slowly together first, and then we'll increase the speed of it as we go through. So we're going to begin in a plank. Now we're going to begin in a high plank, which means we're going to be on our hands. So you have the option here to be on your knees, okay? But wherever you are, or you can be on your feet, okay? But wherever you are, you want shoulders right over the tops of the wrists, chest is between the thumbs, and you want a lovely straight line going from shoulders to hips to your point of contact with the floor, okay? Like you're a plank of wood. So if I was to come and walk up here, there wouldn't be any little dips or anything, okay? So you're lovely and straight, lovely. From here, we're going to lift up and hold. Okay, this is the tricky part. If you're on your knees here, knees stay squeezing together. We're going to step our left hand into the center, okay? And then pressing strongly through that hand, drawing both shoulder blades down, we're going to open out to the side and reach the other hand up towards the ceiling. Okay, shoulder blade, armpit is drawn down here, hips are lifted. Lovely. And then we're going to bring that hand all the way down, back to center, like into the center. So not to where it came from, right into the center. And then we're going to lift the other hand away, coming up into our side plank on that side. Lovely, lifting and holding here along spine. And then we're going to come back to our plank position, so hands are right underneath the shoulders. Hold here. And just see if you can lower yourself all the way down. Now don't worry if you need to drop your knees here, if you only get to about here and then you collapse. This is a test of strength, right? So just see if you can lower yourself all the way down to the mat. All the way down to your belly, and then you're just going to gently press yourself down. I'm just going to adjust my microphone, and then when we're down on the mat, we're just going to press our forehead in towards the mat. We're coming into back extension here. So let's set up our body. So we want our legs here nice and active. Toes are pointing away. We want to think about our abdominals next. So I like to think of it as if I'm wearing a corset. So we need to keep our lower abdominals particularly engaged when we do back extension, because it stops us from hurting at our lower back. Okay, it keeps our pelvis still. So think about this corset. So we're thinking about it being drawn up and in, so it's squeezing in while lifting in, ribs hug down and in. Okay, let's think about the shoulders next. We want those shoulders rolled back and down, so we've got this lovely space between the shoulders and the ears. For now, the elbows are going to come out to the side with the wrists forward of the elbows. Forehead presses down into the mat. And then when you're ready, I just want you to lengthen out of the base of the spine, lengthen forward, and just lift the chest away from the mat. Okay, now our gaze stays on the mat the whole time here. All right, so we're not jutting our chin forward. When we do that, so when we're doing extension of the spine, we're trying to take our spine out of its natural S-curve, which includes this little dip at our neck, and we're trying to lengthen it and turn it into an extended spine, okay? So that means making sure this back of your neck stays extended and we don't crunch it, okay? So we want this lovely long spine all the way from the tailbone all the way to the crown of the head. Think about energizing forward. I want you to just be pressing lightly into the forearms here to help you really connect into that mid back. Okay, so we're just lifting, almost thinking about giving yourself a bit of a double chin, just to stop us from looking forward. Lovely. Last couple here. Really good. Keep going, keep pushing. Nice job. And then we're going to hold it here. Okay, from here I want you to take your palms and just place them underneath your shoulders. Bring the forehead down to the mat. And then we're just going to lift up into that extension. And this time we're just going to press strongly through the hands. Shoulder blades draw down the back. Crown of the head reaches forward. And we're just going to lift the heart. Okay, so make sure that your sitting bones, so those bones in the bottom of your pelvis that you sit on, stay lengthened down towards the heels. And then come back down. Lovely. We're just going to do 2 more of these. So we're just learning to bend at the spine now. So first we extend, so we lengthen forward, straighten it out, stretch the spine, and then we bend it backwards. Lovely. Last one here. All the way up. And then come back down. Nice. From here we're going to push up into our high plank. So you can be on your knees, or you can be on your feet, but wherever you are, just going to prepare my microphone to take with us. You're going to bring your hands right underneath your shoulders, push back through your elbows, tuck your toes, or get ready on your knees, lift up those abdominals, and you're going to push up into a plank position. Okay? From here, again, option to be on the knees, we're going to see if we can do 1 to 4 push-ups. Okay? So even if you only get down like a tiny bit and then back up, I don't mind. Or even if you only manage half a push-up, I don't mind. Okay, this is all about testing our strength here. Last one, push up, drop the knees, sit the hips back, stretch the arms forward into that well-deserved child's pose. Okay, so really press through the hands here, allow the forehead to relax down on the mat, and just push and find more length through the spine. Really try and shorten those abdominal muscles. Okay, just like we did when we're doing our roll-up, to find that lovely bending forward or flexion of the spine. Nice. Breathing into the back, stretching those muscles. Lovely. Reaching through the fingertips. Nice. And then from here, we're going to go into our flow, but we're going to add a little bit to it. So from here, I want you to come into all fours. When you're ready, I want you to tuck the toes, push through the hands, lift up into downward dog. If your legs are uncomfortable here, I want you to bend your legs, okay? And I just want you to push through the hands and try and lift your hips nice and high, okay? It's all about hip height. It's not about being able to straighten your legs. So wherever you are, push through the hands here. Really feel the strength of the palms as we stretch into this downward dog position. Abdominals stay engaged. Head and neck is relaxed. Nice. And then when you're ready, you're just going to come forward into your high plank position. Okay, it might be a lot on the wrist for you, but stay with us. Then we're going to go for that floor. So left hand steps into the middle, right hand opens up towards the ceiling. Okay, side plank. Arm comes down into the center. We open up to the other side, side plank, long spine here. Then from here, we're going to bend the knees, sit the hips down, and come to face the front of our mat. Sit lovely and tall. Now this is where it gets spicy. We're going to re-find those movements, what we found before. Sit lovely and tall. I want you to roll all the way down to the mat. Okay? Bring the head down to the mat. Arms sweep overhead. We're going to lift the legs up into tabletop here. So inhale to prepare. Exhale, keep the lower back pressing into the mat as you lift the right and then the left leg, legs squeeze together, arms come forward, chest lifts. We're going to go here for the 100, so we pump the arms. Okay, really move from the armpit here as you reach forward. You've got the option to stay with the legs here, or they can come onto the floor. Otherwise, or option to progress, you're going to extend the legs out to 45 degrees. Okay, wherever you are, tailbone stays down, shoulder blades stay lifted. Keep going, keep pumping. Stay with your breath here. I want you to sound like a little choo-choo train. So keep going here. Shorten that space between the ribs and the hips. Keep pushing. Get those shoulders down and away. For 3, for 2, and 1. Well done. Bend the legs. Place the feet on the floor. Bring the arms out into that angel arm position. Straighten the legs away. Then when you're ready, you're going to find that ball that we found before. So we're going to swoop the legs forward as the knees draw back. Gaze goes to the pubic bone, and we're going to see if we can lift up into that ball balance. Okay, remember we're on the back of the pelvis. Stay here, or maybe you can lift the legs until the shins are parallel to the ceiling. Maybe you can let go of the legs, wherever you are. Lovely. Holding and breathing here for 3. Shoulders down for 2. Hollow abdominals here for 1. Really good. Now we're going to take our feet forward. We're going to go into our roll-ups, okay? So let's begin with our spine stretch. Sit lovely and tall. We're going to round through the spine. Navel pulls backwards. Remember, heels push forward, toes pull backwards as we stretch over the toes. Then we'll restack the spine. Then remember, we begin by curling the tailbone. Get the back of the pelvis onto the mat. Come down. Find your biting point. Legs stay on the ground. And then you're going to roll up and go over. And I just want you to keep going through these half roll-ups. Okay? Now, if you feel you've got the strength or you want to just give it a go, I want you to see if you can add the ab prep in the roll-up that we did at the beginning. So we're going to come all the way down to the mat. Okay, arms come overhead, toes point as we stretch the whole body. Okay, then we arc the arms overhead, come up into ab prep, and then we climb all the way up into the seated position and stretch forward. Okay, so that's a full roll-up. So you're either going to be here at half roll-ups and then coming up, or you're going to see if you can do full roll-ups. Okay, good job. Keep going here. Now when we come up, I want you to really try, if you're doing the full roll-up, make sure you're not swinging the arms forward. Okay, so we're not oomping them forward and getting momentum. We're pressing the backs of the shoulders into the mat, coming up into ab prep, and then climbing up from ab prep, lifting and stretching over. Good. Last couple here. Move with the breath. Use the exhale to climb up. Really nice. Last one here. And then we're going to come all the way up to seated. Seat. We're going to stretch forward. Stretching. Pulling the toes back. Pushing through the heels. Navel pulls back as we energize forward through the crown of the head. Good. Come up into your seated position. We're going to find that twist, but really briefly. So, left leg crosses over the right leg. Okay. Ankle is just above the knee. Opposite arm comes round to opposite knee. We turn the chest. We look over the shoulder and we twist. Twist. Really squeeze that knee in towards you and really ground through the bent hip. Don't let it bunch up. And then come back other side. We're picking up the pace now. We're twisting and opening. Well done. Really look over that shoulder. Turn the shoulders open. Lovely. Now we're coming into our plank flow. Okay, so come to the turn around. Get shoulders underneath the wrist. Pick your plank position, so you're either on your knees or you're on your toes, but wherever you are, we're in the plank here, and we hold for 3, for 2, for 1. We step the left hand into the center, right hand opens up towards the ceiling, lifting into high plank. Pick up the hips, draw the armpit down, underside armpit down towards the hips. Then we're going to come back to center with that lifted hand, and we're going to open up to the other side. Really good here. This is excellent strengthening for the whole body. Get in those side muscles. Then we're going to come back to plank, realign the wrists underneath the shoulders. And then if we can, we're just going to see if we can lower all the way down to the mat. Remember, don't worry if you need to collapse here. That's fine. And then from here, we're going to come down onto our bellies. This time, hands are going to come right underneath the shoulders. Forehead presses into the mat. We're going to come into those mini cobras. Okay? So again, shoulders roll back and down like you're tucking them into your jeans pockets. Tighten that corset around the lower waist. Legs are active. And when you're ready, come up into that extension of the spine. Then press through the hands, shine the heart forward and come into mini cobra. Keeping the back of the neck lovely and long and lengthened. Reaching out the crown of the head. Lovely. Keep going with these. Okay, so we're really thinking about tension right from the mid back here. But we are not forgetting those lower abdominals. Okay, so we need to keep them engaged. Keep lengthening here. Think about length through the crown of the head. The tailbone and the crown of the head. Lengthen away. Ooh, that's my favourite cue, that and doing back extension, because it really helps us stretch into the spine. Really good. Last one here. And this time we're going to continue pressing through the hands. And we're going to see if we can lift up into full cobra. So we'll really use the triceps to push up. And then come down. We'll just do one more full cobra here. So remember, extension first. Shine the heart forward. Keep the pubic bone on the mat. Lift up into your full cobra. Shoulders pressed down and back. Lovely. Come down to the mat. Not done yet. Come down to the mat, and then from here you're going to bring hands right underneath the shoulders. Either come onto your knees or come onto your toes, and we're going to engage through the lower abdominals. Lift them away from that as we push up into a high plank position. We're going to go for push-ups now. I'm just going to pop my microphone back on. So we're going to go for our push-ups. Yes, remember, 1 to 4. Okay, so we're going all the way down. Try and hug the elbows in towards the sides. Get the chest right between the thumbs. Think about lengthening the tailbone and the crown of the head away from each other, and keep the elbows in. Last one here. Well done. Drop the knees. Sit the hips back into child's pose. Breathe here only for a second, because we're going to go into down dog soon. Lovely. And then from here, come forward into that plank position. Tuck the toes, lift the hips up into downward dog. Okay, press through the hands here, right? Feel the strength going all the way from your palms, right up your arms, right into your back. Think about lifting the hips really high. Hug the elbows in. Lovely stretching here. Inhale. Exhale, come forward into your plank position. We're going to do our flow. Okay, so left arm comes into the center, right arm opens up towards the ceiling. Lift the hips. Then we're going to bring it down, back to the center. Open up with the other hand. Lift those hips. Lovely. Then from here, bend the knees. Take the hip down towards the mat. Turn to face the front of your mat. Lift up. Okay. Round forward into spine. Stretch shoulders away from the ears. Roll down. Bend your knees. We're going into hundreds. Okay, so we're going to roll down. Hold that chest lift position. Or you can come down and reset if needed. Bring the table. Ooh, that was my back. Bring the knees up to into tabletop, squeeze the legs together, reach the arms forward, shoulders are back, and we're going to beat the arms. Keep going. Legs can be here, they can be on the floor, or if you want a challenge, they can be out at 45 degrees. So we're going to pump. Keep going. Ribs in. Keep reaching through the crown of the head. Keep really move from your shoulders here, right from the armpit. Reach forward. Keep pulling in. Keep shortening that space between the ribs and the hips. Keep breathing. Keep going for 3, 2, and 1. Well done. From here, we're going to swoop our arms overhead, stretch the legs away. We're just going to see if we can roll up to seated this time. Okay, so using what I taught you before, shoulder blades pressing in the mat as the arms arc forward, gaze at the toes. Okay, find that chest lift position and then see if you can climb all the way up. If you need to use your arms there, that's fine, don't worry. And then you're going to stretch forward over the heels. Okay, we're going into our roll-ups. Okay, so we can lift up. So we're either going half roll up or we're going all the way down to the floor. So you're either going to come here or you're going to be all the way down. Wherever you are here, I want you to think about pressing each and every bone of your spine into the mat as you do your roll-ups. Okay, and every time you stretch forward, you're trying to stretch that little bit further. But think about at all times keeping that corset of the lower belly nice and tight. Use the breath to come up. Well done. Keep going. Keep those thighs engaged. Okay, knees are pressing down. Don't swing the arms forward as you lift up from your chest lift. Last couple of roll-ups here. Hug those ribs in. Pull the belly button, the navel up towards the belly button. Last one. Come up. Arms come forward and we lift. We're not going to bother with the twist this time. Stretch forward. Then we're going to turn. Come into our high plank. Feet are backwards. And then from here we're going to step left hand into the middle. Lift and open into our side plank. Option to be on the knees. And then other hand comes down. We lift and open to the other side. Both hands come back into plank right underneath the shoulders, and we see if we can lower ourselves all the way down to the mat. Really good. Let's go straight into those mini cobras. Okay, so hands are right underneath the shoulders, forehead's pressing into the mat. Just see if we can come up into a couple mini cobras here. Lengthening through the crown of the head. Lovely. Now when you're ready, you can stay here or see if you want to come up into full cobra. Okay, so again, we're thinking about keeping those lower abdominals lifting inwards and upwards. Lovely. Keep going here, keep pushing. Really use the triceps. Keep the shoulder blades drawn down the back and the collarbone nice and wide. Lengthen through the crown of the head. Well done. Last couple here. Really stretch up, keep the tailbone pressing into the mat. Lifting. Well done. Push back into child's pose. Whoops, sorry, I'm just going to readjust my microphone. Push back into child's pose. Set the hips all the way back to the heels. Refine that lovely breath, but not for long. Inhale and stretching through the back, pressing through the arms. And then when you're ready, you're going to come forward, either into your half plank position, or you're going to come into full plank for those push-ups. Remember, 1 to 4. Stay within your range. Let's go. Down. Up. Keep going. Elbows in. Up. Abdominals stay lifted. Quads are engaged. So front of the thighs are engaged. Last one here. Down. And up. Well done. Sit back onto those heels once more. Allow the wrists just to have a little bit of a rest. We're going to finish off with our plank flow. Lovely. Now come forward into your plank. Left hand steps into the middle. Right hand opens up towards the ceiling as we reach and stretch. Lift the hips. Other side. So we come down. We lift and stretch. Really pick those hips up. Lovely. Come down into your plank. Push through the hands. Lift the hips up into downward dog. Stretch in here. Remember, knees can be bent. I just want the hips nice and high. Feel the strength of your arms. Really nice. Keep pushing for 3, for 2. Keep breathing here for 1. And then come down into all fours. Lovely job. Okay, we're just going to sit back into child's pose just once more. I want you to come onto your elbows and just begin to swirl the wrists. Okay? And just really try and get your tailbone right down to your heels here. And then from here we're going to walk our hands over to the left. And we're just going to pop the right hand on top of the left hand, coming at this lovely side stretch. Okay, opposite hip sits down towards the mat. We're thinking about keeping the tailbone tucked and really think about opening the space in the back between the pelvis and the ribs. Breathe and finding more length. Lovely. Other side. So we're twisting over. Breathe and finding that length again. Think about the opposite hip. So the hip that you're stretching out of being heavy down towards the mat. Maybe one side's a bit tighter than the other. This side definitely is for me. Breathe in here. Nice. Now come in all fours. We're going to do a thread the needle stretch. Okay, so just find your all fours alignment. And when you're ready, you're just going to take your left hand, you're going to open it out to the side, and then you're going to twist and reach up to the ceiling. Gaze follows the hand. And then you're going to thread all the way through, keeping the hips nice and high. We listen to the mat, we reach forward, we reach sideways, through the hand. And this forward facing hand can just lengthen a bit forward if that feels more comfortable for you. And we're just going to press into the back of the sideward facing hand as we press into the palm of the forward facing hand. And just breathe and stretch here. Lovely. And when you're ready, you're going to come back into all fours and do that all on the other side. I'm just going to turn around so I'm not facing my back to you. So we lift open, really ground through the shins, ground through the hand, lengthen forward through the spine and twist. Twist. Listen to the mat. Really twist. Breathe in and twist in. Lovely. From here you're going to take a cross-legged seated position, and we're just going to finish all of that hard work just with some well-deserved breathing. So just sit lovely and tall here. Think about having your lovely, longest, straightest spine here. Allow the shoulders to relax. Take the hands around the front of the knees, and just refine the sensations of the breath. So breathe in deeply here. I don't want you to manipulate the breath at all here. I just want you to allow it to happen. Breathe in deeply, feeling that expansion with the inhale and that release with the exhale. Just feel this lovely sense of stillness as you breathe. Feeling lovely and relaxed. Almost like with each breath you're just floating above your body. Last big deep breath here. Exhale all the air out. Open your eyes. And you're done. Well done. That was a really intense workout. I know all the planking can be a little bit hard sometimes, but it's excellent work to strengthen your wrists and strengthen your shoulders. So well done for sticking at it, and I hope you all have a lovely day.